Hi guys, Sparky here. I've decided to make this video again because the last one I had Grand Theft Auto sounds too loud on my mic wasn't high enough. Yeah, so again we'll do this video. So this is a video on how to install my current release mods of Albo's legacy mods. Okay guys, so these are the 2025 versions of Albo's mods, so LSPDFR plus, traffic policer, police smart radio, and arrest manager. Now I will say with arrest manager at the moment there is an issue with the ped following you whenever you arrest them and you ask them to be picked up by another unit. I will say this. I will say in that scenario, I would, if I was you, just drop the ped off at the police station yourself in the jail cell. That should end the arrest manager from being able to force the ped to do anything. I've overlooked that part. That's on me. I will get it updated at some point. Just at the moment I'm just a little bit busy, but like I said, this will be a video on how to install this, as well as how to use the court system part. Everything is still the same from how Albo designed it to do with the other systems, but the court system has been fully rewritten from the ground up. So I will show an example of that in game, how to initiate it. There is some keywords that you will need to set in the offences if you want that to trigger jail sentences and stuff like that. Okay, there's a lot of information that I've provided on the first comment, so I would, if I was you, read up on it, because especially with this kind of stuff, okay, these will initiate jail sentences and stuff like that. Okay, so as long as you've got these will initiate jail sentences. Okay, so again, like I said, I would advise anyone to read all this information because it holds important information, especially how you use this system. Okay, a lot of people fail to read this, and a lot of people don't read it, and then they join my Discord and then they're moaning this isn't working, that isn't working, and obviously they haven't followed the instructions correctly. So to stop all people saying this doesn't work, that doesn't work, I'm going to show an example of how to install this mod and how little errors that I get installing this mod. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is you need to download the first one, and that is 802. Okay, once you've got that and you've got it on your computer, just unzip it somewhere that you can just drag and drop the files into your root GTA folder. I don't know if I said this previously earlier on in the start of the video, but I have these mods were built to work with one another. So again, LSPDFR plus, traffic policer, police radio, and arrest manager, they're all 2025 versions, so only those 2025 versions will work with this main system. Okay, so make sure you have those if you want a full experience from the entire system. Okay, again, very important that you follow these instructions here. This will tell you exactly how to install the system. Okay, if you don't follow this, you're gonna have issues. Okay, again, here where it says requirements for the Albo common, don't go to Albo's page to download this file because it is already included in my plugin. Okay, it's updated with my plugin. Albo's previous one is not updated with my plugin, so you do not need to go anywhere for this file apart from in the plugin download. Alright guys, and as you can see, I made some changes within version 2. Okay, and I removed some stuff as well from it because I set up an Ask ID from the on foot menu, but things wasn't working too well at that point. I will maybe update it again, because you need to ask for ID in all situations for the entire system to recognize the pet's persona and stuff like that. Okay, so before you do anything, always ask for ID and stuff like that. Okay, because the system needs it. Alright guys, so again, like I said, once you have downloaded the file, you will end up something like this once you've unzipped it. Okay, so again, you end up with these. Don't worry about this. This is for developers if they want to hook into my API, especially to do with LSPDFR plus. So you don't need to worry about that. That's why it's labeled developers only. The only files you need to worry about is these files here. Okay, and all you need to do is just copy them. Okay, and then in your main GTA folder, you just paste in there like that. Okay, and that is it. It is done. Okay, all you need to do is go to the ini, open the ini, and we have the ini here. Okay, again, look through the key bindings, change them to whatever you like. I don't know what plugins you might have installed. There may be some conflicts, there may not be some conflicts. Again, these are legacy plugins. These were designed a lot before Stop the Ped and stuff like that, and I know some people are having issues with Stop the Ped. That is not my issue. Okay, they have not updated to my API. Okay, the APIs have all changed, everything's changed. I would advise those developers to update to these APIs if they want it to work in the system. Okay, so again, okay, in LSPDFR default, you're gonna have this key here. Okay, and what you will need to do is go to that folder location and set them to none. Okay, so again, we'll go to this folder here, go to LSPDFR, open the keys folder here, and then if you scroll down to traffic stop interact, and if you just set all these as none, because they are no longer needed. LSPDFR Plus has its own traffic stop system. Alright guys, so again, make sure you set these. This will save time of the actual plugin pop-up coming up telling you that you've got these keys enabled, blah de blah. Do you want it to set it, or do you want to do it yourself? I advise you to do it yourself before you even start up the plugin, because then it saves any reloading of the plugins, because the common will reload the plugin and crash your game out. Okay, it's just the way it is. It's the way Albo designed it. Okay, so again, make sure they are set, save the ini file, and then come back here and finish off what you need. Okay, again, British policing script, I haven't updated that in this present time, but I will get it updated at some point. I am involved in my own plugin development at the moment, so obviously I'm a little bit busy, but once I get some spare time, I will update this and the rest of Albo's scripts for the current LSPDFR versions. I will say I am not going to expand these mods anymore. That was my original plan, to expand them, but seems as I am forced to open source the code and stuff like that, I do not want to do that, especially with the code that I'm going to be putting into the systems. I've spent a long time working on this code, so yeah, it's sort of deflating that I had to do that. But obviously, you know, I don't mind open sourcing Albo's code that he's made and stuff like that, but you know, my own code, I do not want to open source it. So therefore, LSPDFR Policer Advanced was born, and that is currently in development phases. It's moving quite fast. If you want to follow along with that, you can join my Discord. There's a dedicated channel to that plugin, and you can follow along from the beginning to the current date now. Okay, so again, like I said, at some point I will update Albo's other mods, but right now I'm just a little bit too busy. Okay, so once you've set up your ini file, that is it. That's everything done. That's all you need to do. So then you can close down all the files, and then you just start LSPDFR, and just wait for it to load. So again, guys, we're gonna do it all together, go through the game. You can see exactly there's no issues from installing the mod from the start up until the point of using the mod. Okay, again, I am going to turn the sound down for my Grand Theft Auto just to make sure that it's really low. Okay, so hopefully you should still be able to hear me and the game's not over masking my voice. Okay, because that's what's happened in the first video. So hopefully everything's okay and you can still hear me clearly. Again, most of the systems are still the same, the way I would design them. So if you want to learn how to use the system, I would advise going to his download pages and watching his current videos on how to use those current systems. Again, the only thing that's changed in this plugin is the court system, because I've rewritten it and whatever else. So I will show you an example on how to get that working, and how to follow the court process and stuff like that. Okay, so we'll just wait until we load in game, and then we should be good to go. Okay, and if everything is successful, you should get a in-game pop-up on the left-hand side saying that the mod is loaded. And as you can see, LSPDFR Plus by Albo updated by Sparky for LSPDFR 4.9. Okay, so as you can see, the plugin is fully loaded. We've got no issues. We're on duty and we are ready to use the plugin. Okay, so again, all the other systems, you can go and watch Albo's videos on that. Okay, but what we will do is we will just pull over a quick vehicle, and we will do a traffic stop. Okay, so we'll initiate that, and hopefully you can still hear me clearly and there's no issues. Okay, as you can see, he's come to a stop. We can approach the driver. I don't know if we're going to get him here. Yes, we might. So again, just press E, and as you can see, the LSPDFR window pops up. Okay, so say hi. Ask for the driver identification. Very important, because this is the point where it is being sent to the citation system, ready for any offences that you're going to select. So let's say you want to issue a penalty, you would just select the offences. Obviously we'll select one from each one, and then we will select a jail sentence one, which would be a murder. So obviously you would place the pet under arrest for something like this, okay, but I'm just showing you just for the jail sentences to pop up and stuff like that. Okay, without these keywords you will not get any jail sentence outcomes, so that's very important when setting up your XML and stuff like that. Okay guys, so again, leave them selected, come back, and then you can seize vehicle or whatever. We're not going to do that. We're just going to issue the court summons and let the driver go, and hopefully from there we should be seeing the system initiate. Okay, so we'll initiate the court summons. And then we should get a notification on the left side as you can see, court processing initiated. The paperwork is being filed. Okay, so now all we need to do, guys, okay, is once you see that, turn this lights off. Oh, okay, once you see that, okay, we'll sit just at the side of the road here, and it can vary from anywhere from 1 minute to 7 minutes for this to show up. Okay, so obviously it's simulating real world realism of the paperwork going from officer to through the system, and then the court summons being filed. Okay, depending on how you have your settings in the INI, this will vary. Okay, so if you have it as true, you're going to wait 3 to 4 days in game for the system to process it. Okay, if you have it to false, it should be pretty instant, and anywhere from 1 to 7 minutes we should get the case and pending. Okay, so we'll just watch for the little notification in the left hand side, and we will go from there. Again, as you've seen, when I was installing the mod, there was no issues. I didn't have any other mods out there installed. If you are going to use these systems with other systems, you will have to try and deal with the bugs that come with it, because I know for a fact Stop the Ped and stuff like that was made after Albo's mods. Okay, and Stop the Ped and everything like that is based off Albo's mods. Okay, so I would advise not using Stop the Ped or anything like that unless you know ways of coping with the bugs and whatever else. Okay, a lot of their systems use a lot of the systems we have here, so obviously you will get Stop the Ped notices saying that you're using Albo's DLLs, because he even knows it will cause issues for you guys. Okay, so again, like I said, it is always best to start off afresh in a fresh Grand Theft Auto folder if you want to use these legacy mods, and then you will just have to install one mod at a time and see which gives you issues and avoid using that part of it. Okay, so again, we are just going to wait for the court summons to be filed. It does vary from 1 to 7 minutes, and that's just to simulate real world, like I said. Alright guys, so you just bear with us and we should be through this anytime soon. So hopefully anytime soon now we should be getting a notice saying we're following the court case, and then you should be able to access the court case from the F9 menu. Alright, and as you can see, the court case has been created and it's been saved to for the court summons. Okay, so what you can do now guys is you can press F9, you can see the last driver's name, and if we select that and press down, we can see the tab. So now what you can do is you can wait for the in-game processing to begin, and that falls back to how you have it in the INI, like I said. Okay, so if you have true, you're going to wait 3 to 4 in-game days for this to be processed. Okay, if you have it false, it normally does it pretty quick, but if you want to do it straight off the bat, just press insert and the court has been heard. Okay, so what we can do now is we can go to this tab, and as you can see, I've got one previous one that doesn't have the keywords in, so that was one I arrested earlier, shut down the game, restarted the game again, and as you can see, the XML has loaded again. This is the last one we've just dealt with: speeding, failure to comply, and attempted murder. Okay, so he got a guilty verdict and he got 10 years in jail. Okay, so again, that's the court system fully working, and that's just an example how you get it all working. At some point, I will tie it in to the actual pet being handcuffed, and the charges, any charges that's selected, will automatically produce a court case. Okay, guys, I haven't done that yet. I will update it at some point, but if you want to simulate real world, what I would do is I would handcuff the player using the default LSPDFR way, and then use the Shift Q menu or whatever in order to bring up the charges and that for the ped. Okay, and then obviously arrest them, take them to the jail, and by the time you've done all that, you should have the court processing. Okay, again, I will tie it into the arrest system at some point. It's just I'm a little bit busy at the moment doing other things, especially with my mod. Okay, so I hope this answers everyone's questions on how to install the mod and how to use the court system part of it. Okay, guys, if you do have any questions, please join my Discord, post in the Discord. If you have any issues, post in the support channels. I'd be more than happy to help you when I become available and stuff like that. Again, if you're interested in following my other mod, LSPDFR Police are Advanced, I do post regular updates about that in my Discord. There's a dedicated channel for that, so if interested, you are welcome to join. All the links to my Discord can be found on the each download page of my mods that I've released, the 2025 versions of it. Okay, guys, if I've missed anything or anything like that, let me know in the comments. I may do another updated video, but this is the bare minimum of how you get these plugins to work. Okay, guys, so again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.